Hey guys, I'm Jacob. You're watching the Prepper's Bunker Outdoors, and today I want to talk to you about my next collab drop, the AdventureCub. Now my goal today was to kind of do a little bit of whittling, and what I've decided that I wanted to make is I'm going to try and make a cast iron scraper out of this old dry piece of oak. We'll see how that goes because I'm not the best carver, and about half the time the wood tells me what it's going to be as much as I tell it. And I'm not telling you that because I'm proud of it. Very much to the contrary. However, I knew that when I showed you guys this knife, it would have to be while I was whittling because they're just so good for it. Now the blade was made by Bear Forest Knives in California. If you've been around, you're probably familiar with him. And essentially, the thought was, what if we made the adventure craft a little bit smaller? And then he thought, well, what if I do them Scandi? Now, I'm not really up to speed on carving, and the entire industry and culture that follows it, as you've already noticed, I'm sure. However, I think that these knives could be considered what's called a sloyd, for what that's worth. I don't know. You probably know better than me. Anyways, we're going to have 12 of these available. I brought one out with me to show you one of the ones for sale. This is one of my prototypes from when he first had the idea. And they're a true saber grind in 1095 high carbon. And if you don't know what I mean by a true saber grind is a zero ground. Did I say true saber grind? A true Scandi. A true Scandi is essentially a saber grind, a short saber grind that's ground to a 0-degree edge. So if you have a saber ground knife that calls itself a Scandi but has a micro bevel, like say the Tops MSK, they're really just trying to get the look and use the name of the Scandi grind to get some people to buy it. It's really just the Scandi grind. It's really just a saber grind. If you have a Scandi grind with a micro bevel, it's just a saber grind. So what we're talking about here is this knife was ground from the top of the grind straight to the edge. There's no micro bevel, and that makes a knife slice just incredibly well. But there are downsides. Oh my gosh, my eyeballs. The downside to a true zero grind is no matter what somebody tells you, it's more fragile. It's a fine carving design, and it was also used for fish a lot, but it's a fine carving design. That's what it was originally intended for. That's how it was originally used, and it is weaker. And in for some people it's easier to sharpen. For some people it's harder. Takes to a strop really easily. You know, it's crazy what you hear on the internet. I heard someone was talking about what their favorite grind was. Everybody's always talking about Scandi. This one person commented, I like Scandi because it carves the best, it's best for everything, and it's the toughest. Well, I'm here to tell you, a true Scandi grind is the weakest type of grind, but man, does it carve into wood. And so if we've got a fairly purpose-designed knife like this, which these are going to be fantastic for not just woodworking, but also for fishing, skinning, light knife tasks. Are you kidding? anyways, sorry about that. As I was saying, you know, if Scandi grind is weaker and just carves better, why would I still keep the moniker of Adventure in the name? And the reason, golly, we got real smoky real quick, is with the Adventure Cub being a bit smaller than the Adventure Craft, it's just such an easy knife to drop in your pocket as an addition to whatever else that you're carrying. It doesn't have to be any kind of primary or anything else. You can have your primary knife, and then you can keep your little whittling knife with you. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. These come in a lot of crazy handle colors. You'll see on Exodus Knife and Tool in the collab section. This is one of them. I'll feel like an idiot if I get this wrong. This is the only one of this color. I believe this is stabilized poplar burl. We have some more stabilized poplar burl, but it's not blue. We have stabilized elm, desert ironwood. We've got some green burlap micarta that's really, really nice. We've got some mahogany. So we've got a lot of options, guys. Definitely check out the Instagram if you are interested and want to see more pictures. Also on Instagram, I will post pictures of the finished product on this knife right here. I also want to say I haven't reviewed a lot of Scandi ground knives on this channel because clearly I'm not much of a carver. This wood is just so hard. I'm not much of a carver. I'm more of an adventurer. And that was ugly. That just tore out in a way I didn't mean for it to. I'm trying to take too much here, guys. This is what's going on. I'm kind of getting in a hurry, and of course that's always a problem. Anyways, we're going to be not only testing one of Bear Force Knives' Scandi ground knives here shortly, but we will be also destroying it. So it's really going to be interesting to show edge damage and how easy it is to repair in the field, and then also to see overall how tough the knife really is. It's going to be on this beautiful simple that he sent me. It's a sweet, sweet knife. It's going to be sad to kill it. And believe it or not, I've become known for destruction videos to some degree, and I really don't actually enjoy doing it because it's a lot of work. It's just almost any knife is a lot of work. The only knife I think that has broken where I didn't really expect it to break yet was the Bear Grylls. I was expecting to get a little bit wild with it later and break it later, but it failed on me. And I will be doing more videos on this particular knife. I'm going to show you any edge damage that I do cause to it. And I've got some edge rolling here because I'm trying to do too much too fast. I'm manhandling, probably prying a little bit. That's actually another reason why this is probably starting to get a little more difficult. So in another video, I'll get pictures of this edge up close. In another video, I'll show how I sharpened it using a stone and a strop, how well it came back, how it performed, and all of that. But anyways, I'm just going to call it a day. I don't know if I said everything that I was supposed to say, except that this Saturday, I believe the 22nd at noon Central Time, 12 of these will become available. They might be the only 12 I ever sell because, believe it or not, the nice thing about making small knives is obviously the handle material is affordable. The bad thing is they are just a pain in the butt to make. Sadly, Mineral Mountain Hatchet Works had to learn that the hard way. You're just working with such small tools, and that's why not a lot of knives of this size traditionally existed. of course, now that every retailer in America wants to pick up my designs, and is picking up my designs this year, Benchmade rolls out with something very, very similar, and a few other people have as well. And people are realizing that it is a very utilitarian and underrepresented size and design of knife. But, you know, we'll just have to see how it goes. I'll say that having automated processes in knife making really makes knives of this size easier to produce, because they're just, I'm telling you, they're just such a pain in the butt to grind on something so small and so short, to contour handles and stuff. What a pain in the butt. Anyways, again, ExodusKnifeandTool.com is where these knives will be. Check me out on Instagram at the Prepper's Bunker Outdoors and at Exodus Knife and Tool. I'll put all the links in the description box below. Get one while you can. They're going to be good. And if you are a Scandi guy, this is probably going to be the last chance that you'll get to get a Exodus Knife and Tool product in a Scandi grind in a long time, maybe ever. I really like my Scandi grinds, but they're just not as versatile as what I normally do. I mean, they sure are cool. I'm gonna try and do this up kind of nice, and we'll fix this edge and get her done. So, have a blessed day. I'll talk to you.